I am Michael Cox, and I play trumpet with Oakland Civic Orchestra. Gosh, this is, I think, my second season with OCO. Very excited. OCO is what really sort of got me back into playing as an adult. Last season was particularly exciting for me as a trumpet player. We did one of my all-time favorite pieces, and that's Stravinsky's Pulcinella Suite. Amazing trumpet part in there, and it's also a wonderful piece. It's almost chamber music. All the parts are very soloistic in that piece, and it's not every day you get an opportunity to play that sort of stuff. Just going there week to week and playing the concerts, it is amazing what a community organization it is. It really taps into a lot of people of all ages across this amazing area, and organizes all for one specific purpose, and I think that's just fantastic. Music completes me. It defines me in a lot of ways, and I'd lost track of that as I got older, and now it's kind of fueling something that I had forgotten about. And weekly going there and working on music as an ensemble, it's so exciting to see our progress. You know, we'll get together and read this piece of music that we've all heard, but it's hard to play as a group.
My name is Daniel Bao, and I play the French horn. Actually, the horn, I think we're supposed to say these days, since there's been a little bit of a name change. I want to make sure people don't get confused with the English horn. I'm sort of an unusual horn player in a sense. You know, in my youth orchestra, I was basically the worst of 8. And I didn't want to play the big solos, or, you know, I wanted to be, you know, part of the group, and to be part of this great music. But I'm not the kind of player that if I don't play this solo, I'll stop playing. And one of the things that happened is, of the 8 of us, I think the top 2 or 3 became professional musicians. But a lot of them, players who were better than I was, stopped playing, because I think they couldn't play first, and so they wanted, they couldn't play first, they'd rather not play. But I'm very happy playing 4th. And so to me, I guess I do it for different reasons than other people. It's that part of the participation, and again, feeling part of a whole. Sometimes I feel like I'm a little tiny droplet in a big wave, So great things happen, and I'm a little part of it. I can help create something that's a little bit magical and can really move people in the moment. But I don't want to be I don't want to have too much responsibility. I don't want it to be too stressful. I don't know if that makes sense. So it has to be, it's that balance about being challenging enough, but not so hard that, you can't do it kind of thing. So it's just pushing yourself enough slowly and slowly so you get better without even realizing it. And I think that's part of OCO over the last 20 some odd years. Well, early years. Well, Peter and the Wolf was always fun. Playing the Wolf, That was 3 horns. Oh yeah. I remember playing the César Franck Symphony, a lot of Dvorak. I like sort of the Russians and the Slavs, so Smetana. So for me, there were some, Sherazade, Lev Rimsky-Korsakov. So a lot of great pieces over time, although I have to look at the programs to see what we played. And then, pieces that I never thought I hadn't heard of. I mean, that's a fun part, discovering pieces, because, you tend to play the ones that have sort of famous names, and, you have a new, what's a piece? I think like Sibelius, I would thought of him as, Finnish, boring, But playing him is a different experience. So, we sort of grow as individuals also and get challenged. And I think that's important because, as they say, you can't have the future of classical music and of orchestras is not assured. And if you just play the same pieces over and over again, that's a recipe for not having a future. No, it's all a surprise. I wouldn't have predicted, looking back on the video, I wouldn't have predicted anything who knew that I would still be in the area and playing after 25 years. So, no, yeah, the past is a surprise, the future is a surprise, I think. The present is a surprise too.
My name is Yarbrough, and I play the horn in the Oakland Civic Orchestra. I started on the horn in 4th grade, as we all do, when we get our instruments handed out to us in elementary school, and I wanted to play the percussion, but they needed a horn, so that's what I got. You go anywhere, you immediately have 30 friends if you join a band or an orchestra. And we would drive to Oakland and panic our hearts would be in our throats because we would always be just a smidge on time, thinking that Marty would yell at us if we were late. So it was always kind of nerve-wracking. But we loved it, and it was kind of a madcap, fun time. You know, it was a fun group. Oh yes, I met our Daniel Bow, our longtime 4th horn player and other parts at times horn player. And I have to say, I know him much better now than I did then. I think he was a lot quieter back then than he is now. I don't even recall even talking to him all that much, even though he might have a different remembrance of that. Yeah, well, from my own history, OCO has been, historically speaking, a way for me to reconnect with those people I met over, what year is it now? 20 years ago now? My own child, I had a child who grew up and is now in high school, and I was trying to find out if he would qualify for a scholarship at Lick Wilmerding, where Marty teaches, and she said, no, but you know what, I need a French horn again in the orchestra. And then I thought, oh yeah, I did used to play in the Oakland Civic Orchestra, and it really brought back a lot of fond memories. And she promised me a ride home if I could take Bart, because of course the panic over being late was very scarring. So I usually take Bart here and I get a ride home with the conductor. So there are differences in the orchestra by my perception from when I first played in the group and this time. And probably a lot of it has to do with age. But I feel a little bit more clued in to the rest of the sections. There's a little bit, probably due to the fact that everyone else has played here for the greater duration of a couple of decades. but it is a really kind of a family affair, and it's fun. It feels more fun. The repertory doesn't seem like it's changed all that much to me, but you know, certainly it feels like a lot less pressure and a lot more fun, and just people loving to play the music.
Yeah, so I'm Alex Strachan. I've been with OCO 3 seasons now. So I'm kind of the new guy on the block, especially in the horn section where everyone else, less Darren, has been there at least 10 years. So I remember when we played the Till Eugenspiel, the really nasty, the horn solos. throughout the whole piece. I got most of them. Playing Till is it's on every audition list for any orchestra in the world. You'll see the excerpts from Till Eugenspiel, of which I think there are 4 major sections that appear on audition lists. So it's a 15-minute piece, and 3.5 of it is on the horn audition list. So by pure minutes of music, it's almost a horn concerto. So it opens with this broad solo, completely exposed. It's incredibly demanding technically. It's but playing Till is not many people get to play first on Till. There's not many ensembles, especially in the community orchestra scene, that can even try to play Till. It's that hard. It's that demanding. Very few orchestras can get 4 horns together that can play Till. Very few orchestras can get a violin section that can play Till. It's an insanely difficult piece. It's madness. It's literal lunacy from Strauss's part. Back in the day, I'm sure there were people who were bemoaning the unplayability of Strauss's music. Can only imagine. So, now we have the benefit of hundreds of years of technological innovation, but the first horns that would have had to play this were on single F Viennese horns, which are not at all good at playing high. This is so far and above and beyond the technical difficulty of any literature that people would normally attempt to play. It's a far cry from Mozart or Haydn, where the horns might get to play 10 or 15 notes. We get 10 or 15 notes a measure. So yeah, playing Till on first horn was just an incredible experience. Nothing like that in my playing career, nothing like that on my resume before that. So that was, once in a lifetime kind of thing. Yeah, so as part of our preparation for this, I think we had 9-10 weeks of preparation before the performance. About 3 weeks before the concert, we actually did a sectional, all of us, with Thomas Jocelyn of the St. Louis Symphony, the associate principal horn there. And so he came and helped us coach, through it. Piece is about 15 minutes long, of which we got to safely skip about 2. So it was 13 minutes of just all-out intense playing in that piece. So, normally a concert runs about 2 hours, and the horns will play about 13 minutes in 2 hours. So 13 minutes in 15 minutes is sort of an insane workout for us. It's high, it's really fast, it's really technical. There's like dozens of high Cs. It's very. Some of it is very loud. I've never seen someone write a triple forte with quite as much gusto as Strauss. His dad was a horn player, actually, so a lot of his works are inspired by his dad's playing growing up. One of his, I think it's like Opus 2 was his first horn concerto. So Strauss gave us 2 horn concertos, the most of anyone except for Haydn and Mozart. So truly, Strauss was a big lover of the instrument. So anytime you get to play R. Strauss, you're in a you're certainly in a world of hurt as a horn player, and you certainly feel like the hero of the story. You're just trying to muddle through come out looking like the hero at the end of it. OCO is just like such a big part of my life because it's the only organized music I really get to do. It's so many firsts for me, getting to play these orchestral monuments for the first time as first horn, things that I thought I had to become a professional musician to get to play. I know of no other community orchestra playing Tillwagenspiel, like this is just straight up. Mahler is, a once a season treat that one orchestra in your area might play a Mahler. Getting to be the principal horn of the OCO, right? I get to say, oh, that's the one I get to play principal on. I get to do the Mahler. And so that's that's a unusual treat. Again, it's something I thought I would have to, go to music school, fight, and win a job. Practice 5 hours a day, and then maybe I would get to play principal on a Mahler one day. Just from an accessibility standpoint, OCO brings such quality music to people that, the community is so dedicated and so willing to like, it's not just the horns that have a hard part in the Mahler or the Strauss, right? Like, the whole thing is bananas.
I'm Nancy Geimer. I play timpani and other percussion. I figure I've been playing an OCO more than 10 and probably less than 15, so definitely double digits. Yeah. I first just came to play for one concert, and then and then I liked it and I just kept coming back. Percussion is a whole family of instruments, and drums is a subset, and timpani is a type of drum. And it's tunable. So the nice thing about percussion is it's got tuned instruments and untuned instruments. And so most drums are untuned, but the timpani are unique in that they kind of overlap and you can tune them, usually with pedals, to hit actual pitches. So there's a lot to do in percussion. And in OCO, Marty chooses a repertoire that has a lot of percussion and brass, so that makes it a lot of fun. I have the best opportunity to play timpani in a classical setting. And in classical music, the timpani is usually the best part, or it's the most active part. But the nice thing about OCO is you really get to mix it up and do more of a variety of things. And I've seen OCO grow over time, because when I joined, it wasn't nearly as many people playing in it, and it wasn't nearly as good. And it's been great to see it really evolve and get better and better. And I think that's really great to see. And then, of course, the better you are, the more you attract musicians who want to play in a better group. Yeah, I keep coming back to OCO because it has gotten better and better over time. And I really like Marty and her conducting. And I like the repertoire that she picks. And I like the way she runs the orchestra. One of the things that's unique about OCO, and probably because it's in the East Bay and in Oakland in particular, is there does seem to be more of a variety of people of color in the group than any other orchestra I've been in. And I like that. It seems more reflective of our community. Marty has high quality standards, which is very good. And she knows what she wants, and she's not afraid to tell you what she wants and to demand a high level of quality. But she does it in a great way that it's not offensive, it's not belittling. And I definitely have been in several orchestras where you go to rehearsal, you practice, you play, and you get made fun of by the conductor in front of everybody, and that just so doesn't feel good. And Marty would not do that, certainly not on purpose. Yeah, she has a very good way about her, and yeah, she's very personable, but when she's conducting, she's all business, and I appreciate that too, because she doesn't waste her time. She's very focused, she comes knowing what she wants, she gets what she wants, and it makes us all better.
So this is probably the shortest piece we've done in a long time. You just have to imagine a bluebird dancing. I don't know this sequence of the opera, which I learned was excised from the opera for some reason. I don't know why, actually. But if you look it up online, you can imagine somebody dancing in a bluebird costume. This is quintessential Tchaikovsky ballet music. Stravinsky chose to orchestrate it for a particular setting, which I believe he was probably conducting or involved in some way, or playing the piano or something. So just a little, cute little thing. But you'll definitely hear Tchaikovsky, and you'll hear the humorous sort of orchestration quirks of Stravinsky.
My name is Nate Cavalieri, and I play percussion with the Oakland Civic Orchestra. When I tell my girlfriend, you know, she was away during the OCO's first rehearsal this season, and when I told her, oh yeah, I'm headed to rehearsal tonight, she said, oh good, because the person that leaves that rehearsal is a more relaxed and kind of happy person than the person that goes into that rehearsal every week. So I think it has kind of a real, it might sound corny, but it has like a healing kind of psychological thing for me. So I love how open the doors are to it. I love that when, you know, you invite a group of friends to see a performance, and somebody hasn't maybe been to a lot of orchestra performances, and they clap after the first movement, that it's not a big deal. It has a very welcoming vibe, and I think that's definitely one of my favorite things about the orchestra. It's family-friendly orchestra performance. That's rare, I think, and I love that. Yeah. I was thinking about how the volunteer nature of it is so important. And when I was thinking, like, when you go to see a professional orchestra play and everybody is playing everything exactly perfectly, it can be inspiring in a certain way, but in another way, I almost, as I've gotten later in my kind of performing career, life, whatever, I almost have more admiration for the volunteer groups, because it's like they're part of this tradition that is really, really long. You know, my great-grandfather was a trombone player, and he wasn't a famous trombone player. He just played in a local band. And I love connecting with that tradition of people who have jobs and do this because they love to do this. You know, I kind of almost admire that more than the professional path, because it's a demonstration of passion and creative release, not necessarily a job. Yeah. I play in percussion section, which is really, can be really thrilling and fun. And the people that are also in this section, I love playing with Nancy. She's just so good and cool-headed. And a lot of times the reason I love going to rehearsal is to hear the other players play. I mean, especially like the wind section always just blows my mind. These hard runs that people are really nailing on the first and second rehearsal. It really fuels my desire to come back, just to listen to the other players.